the Big Ten misery index. I feel like I'm stealing this, by the way. That exact terminology. Isn't there like a John L. Smith misery index? Have you ever seen that?
I don't think I've seen that. No.
It's somebody that I follow from Michigan State Twitter. Let me try and find
Really?
this. Yeah. There's a thing called the John L. Smith Misery Index, which is grading MSU football on a scale of just how John L. Smith things go, which is
I mean,
it's pretty funny.
I've seen like the FranCon scale.
Yeah,
Uh,
basically that. But this is John L. Smith Misery Index. So I'm stealing the Misery Index terminology. It's a tribute to you. It's not plagiarism. It's a tribute, John L. Smith.
what is it? What are we naming it? The Dave Warren Index?
We could. What do you what how do you want to do the scale for this? You always have problems with my scales.
I'm fine. Okay, first of all, I got PTSD with any type of scale. Hashtag weight issues. But I want to do like just straight numbers and or like letters. I don't need names. Like the fact that we were doing like high level Department of Defense level security terrorism terms. I mean I understand where you're coming from, but can we just do like a straight 1 to 5 or 1 to 10?
So you want to do numbers and letters? That's what I heard.
No, eat one or the other.
Well, you said and or, so that opens the door for and. So let's do numbers and letters. So the scale for this is going to be do we want to do 10 as the highest or 5 as the highest?
Let's do 10 as the highest.
Okay, so the scale is this. 10 is the most miserable you can be. From there, it's 10A, 8B, 6C, 4D, 2E. That's the scale. E is the lowest, the least miserable you can be. Numbers
Okay.
and letters.
Okay.
Okay, so you got that? We feel good?
Not necessarily, but let's do it.
All right. We're going to go team by team. We'll go in alphabetical order. I am pulling up a list of the Big Ten teams in alphabetical order, but I believe it's Indiana that is first. No, yes, it's Indiana that's first. No, it's not. It's Illinois.
You're sure?
It's Illinois. Illinois is first.
Okay. Illinois.
How miserable are they on a scale of 10 to E?
10 to E.
Yeah, it's 10 to E. I feel like you still don't get the scale.
I definitely don't. No.
So instead of 9, it's A.
Why can't we just do 1 to 10, man?
You said letters and numbers.
I made a mistake. That happens every podcast episode. Can we just do 1 to 10? I'm pulling rank. I'm pulling rank.
You can't pull. What does pull rank mean?
I don't know. People say it all the time when they want to make a point.
Yeah, but that implies seniority.
I am older than you.
You can pull rank. You're right. Wow, shit. You think you're going to be able to pull rank whenever you want?
Hell yeah, 1 to 10.
Damn.
Let's go.
Also, when you said pull rank, I thought you meant like take the guy with 8 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists out of the game. Ding.
Jab counter. Okay. that's great. Damn. Okay. I'm at a 2 Illinois fan.
What are you
2.
concerned about at all? What are you miserable about?
I feel like just naturally Illinois fans, because of their craziness, are always going to hold on to some sort of misery unless they make a second weekend. Then they'll go to a 1.
Okay, I'm at a 3. Baseline is 1 because I don't think they should be miserable at all. Bumped up 1 because they lost their last game. Bumped up another 1 because I think deep down Illinois fans know they're not Purdue. And that's in the back of their mind.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. All right. Indiana. How miserable are they? 1 to 10.
Are we approaching this if we are Indiana fans?
Like, yeah, what would your misery be if you were an Indiana fan?
If I was an Indiana fan and I thought the way they did, my misery index would be probably honestly like a 4 or 5.
So not bad?
Yeah, I feel like they're feeling like pretty solid. They're getting Khalil Ware. Obviously, the game against Auburn was a setback, and they didn't like the way things went down and the rotations and things like that. But besides that, before that, they still set at 7-2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're an Indiana fan.
I think they are at a 5 right now. And I think coming into the Auburn game, they were actually at a 2. Like, I don't think they were feeling bad at all, but it bumped up 3 points because they got 30 ball.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's a 5 for Indiana. All right, Iowa. What's the misery index for the Iowa Hawkeyes?
8, 7 or 8.
I think it's a 10.
I don't think Iowa fans are necessarily expecting this team to really do much though.
Yeah, but doesn't losing so their last week, I had them as my loser of the week from After Dark last night. We had to pick one at the end of the show. And I don't think there's a team in the sport that had a worse week than Iowa. I mean, you lost by 25 on the road to your rival, Iowa State, in a non-competitive game. And then you went home in a game where everybody would expect, like, you're going to get right against a Michigan team that it comes out there in shambles after. Like, not only did you lose and you were down 20 in that game to Michigan, but it comes out after the fact that they don't have a coach. Like, that's got to be bad. That's a 10 for me.
Okay, yeah, round up 10.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's getting better. I think Iowa fans are coming to terms like this season's
But
a
aren't
total
Iowa
waste.
fans always not ever going to be a 10 just because Fran and family?
Like, as long as they have that, they're fine.
As long as they have Fran and family, they'll be a 9 at least. They can't get to 10.
It could be that. I don't know. I guess I don't understand the mentals of Iowa fans, and I never will. My Wolverines. What's the misery index? This is the toughest one of the game.
Why do I feel like you got to do some projecting? It's got to be a 10. It's a 10 because hear me out. It's a 10 because you're losing Doug McDaniel.
That's not guaranteed though. Like,
Okay.
truly.
If that's not the case, then honestly it honestly only might be a 4 because you might get better without Juwan.
Yeah, like the moment I find out Doug is for sure gone, it's a 11. Like, I'm warning you now, I'm gonna need a month. The day that this isn't gonna be like when you and I were in wherever we were, Houston, on the streets and found out Hunter's transferring. It's not like I need to take a walk. It's gonna be like I'm not talking to anyone for a month. And when I come back, I'm gonna look like a lot different, like different haircut and issues.
Understand? And
Yeah.
issues.
Like serious long-term developmental issues.
Oh my.
Yeah, yep. But with that said, right now he's here, and I have 3 more months of him, 4 more months in theory. It's like a 2. It's a 2 because I'm if Juwan Howard leaves the program, I'm ecstatic.
What if there's just like a cloud hanging over the program for like the rest of the year, like Juwan leaving, basically? That bumps it up to at least a 5 for me.
Is Doug still playing?
Yeah, but he's playing in a toxic environment.
The Iowa game was pretty fun. That was as toxic can get. Like, I don't know.
And you played Iowa, luckily.
I'm sticking at a 2 until it gets worse. We'll see.
Okay.
Michigan State misery index.
10. 10, unequivocal 10. There's no argument. 10, 10. Actually, wait. No, 10. Yeah, 10. 10?
I think it's a 9 because you have Tyson Walker.
Okay. I think it's an 11 because I have Tyson Walker.
I think it's a 10. That's a fair point. I think it's a 10 the moment Xavier Booker hits the portal.
It's a 10.
Trilly with some ominous things towards that, by the way. Maryland, we're jumping around alphabetically now. Maryland.
Oh, 10.
I'm gonna give them an 8.5.
Why only 8.5? I feel like they had a lot of expectations.
They're 1-1 in Big Ten play and got the win against Penn State in overtime.
Okay. Meet in the middle, 9.
Maryland, like, we think it's really bad, but we don't know that it's really bad. And if we're meeting in the middle, it's a 9.25.
I mean, they're Old Bay, Michigan State.
Yeah, pretty much. Except did they have logos in the weight room?
Jab counter.
I just gotta know, like, was Jameer Young, like,
No, because that team wasn't even in the facility all summer. By the looks of it.
That's fair. All right. By the way, I'm working on a Michigan State theory that the entire issue for this team is that AJ actually got in shape.
Like, we need fat AJ back?
Yes. That's currently my hypothesis with that team. Minnesota, misery index.
Low key, Probably like a 2.
It might be the lowest in the conference.
Yeah, it really might be low. I feel like things aren't that bad for Minnesota right now. Vibes are kind of high for them.
I think Minnesota fans love what they're seeing. I think, yeah, I think it's a 2. I think they're
Yeah.
happy, and there's no Patino on their
Wait,
side.
one of those Minnesota accounts tweeted me and watching both sleepers media's like teams be in shambles is bringing me so much joy. And let me tell you, it hit me like a semi straight to the chest.
I love that we have Minnesota fans as like an enemy of ours. Like we of our enemies, the Minnesota fans are my favorite by far right
Oh
now.
yeah.
Like it's
Oh
a
yeah.
very loving hate relationship, I think, at least from our side. With that said, we always have the upper hand because they have to pretend they like PJ Fleck for 4 months out of the year every time.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Like
That is
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, truly. Nebraska.
probably low too, like maybe 3, because the home loss to Creighton was bad, but Creighton's really good. But they didn't expect to get blown out like that. I think that hurt a little bit, and they blew the second half against Minnesota. But like bouncing back with a win against Michigan State, like I think it's the first win in like the last 7 meetings against Michigan State as well. Really, really good win for them.
At the time of recording this, I think their misery index is a 1. I think it's the lowest on the scale it could possibly be. They have
Like cuz fresh off the Michigan State win.
Cart, they have 8 wins. They're 8-2 right now. In 2020, Fred Hoiberg had 7 wins on the season. In 2021, Fred Hoiberg had 7 wins on the season. Like this man has gone entire college basketball season. 2022, 10 wins on the season. He has 8 wins. He's 8-2. Like what are they're complaining because they lost to Creighton? Like, they're 8-2 and they just pieced up Michigan State at home. Like they're happy right now. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
they did.
It's incredible. Who's next? I keep clicking out of the page that has everybody. Ohio State? Ohio State. What's Ohio State's misery index? No, Northwestern. Northwestern misery index.
1.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a 1.
1. You have Budarius Bowie. What are you sad about?
That is weird that they're the happiest team in the conference. I'm just
I don't
happy.
I, I don't even need to see that record. Budarius dons that 0 every single game.
I'm so happy that Boo gets to go out a winner. What are they? 29 and 13 in their last 2 seasons of basketball? Like that's hold on. Yeah, you have to go all the way back to March 6th, 2022 for Michigan State to have won 29 games. Boo's done it in like a season and a half. Incredible. Okay. Ohio State, misery index.
I want to say it's only like a 3. Rocky starting to play better basketball, maybe rounded up to a 5 because they blew that game against Penn State, maybe.
I think it's a 7 just because when we were in the press conference, everyone in that room strikes me as the type of people that will be miserable even if they're happy.
True. That might be the Buckeye way.
Like I think they're happy. Like a Buckeye 7 is really like a Spartan 2, you know?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Penn State? Penn State.
2?
I think it's a baseline 8. They lost Shrew. I wouldn't get over that for a very long time.
Do they care?
That they lost Shrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only thing they had to be excited about. Yeah.
But do you think Penn State fans care about
So
that?
you think it's impossible for Penn State fans to be miserable?
Yeah, I think it's impossible for Penn State fans to be miserable because they're not even there.
I guess I'll give you that. I'll side with you on this. I guess there are 2, but they lost 5 straight games. Like,
It's okay.
okay.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to like hear it, the shit ain't fall.
Okay. All right. That's a 2. Purdue, misery index.
1.
It's got to be like a 3.
Why? For what?
They're 1-1 in the Big Ten.
Oh,
They're 1-1 in the Big Ten. They're a game behind Indiana right now.
to 1. I'll meet you in the middle at 2. Will not go above 2.
It's a 2 because they're a game behind Indiana. It's a 3 because Aaron Torres exists today. Like I know people lost a good 90 minutes of their jobs today.
Yeah, because of the Torres effect.
Yeah, for sure. They're like they had to spend time online dissecting foul calls.
Was
That's
Aaron Torres a Yankees baseball player?
Are you thinking Aaron Boone or Gleyber Torres?
No, I think there actually was an Aaron Torres Yankees player, and that's who I really thought was making this comment at first.
Let's give it a look. I don't believe that's true. Aaron Torres, Yankees. I have college leagues stats from a relief pitcher named Aaron Torres who went to the John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York, New York.
Okay, all right. So I was wrong. I got a little bit too high on my MLB bridges with the Bobby Bonilla fact, and I played outside my game. That's on me.
It's okay. I think the only one. No, we have 2 left. Rutgers. Rutgers. What's their misery index?
I think Rutgers has to be like a 7.
0.
Why?
They have 2 of the top 3 players in the country coming next year.
That's true. That's very true. Yep, everything's good. They got Harper,
and they just had the rivalry win against Seton Hall. They feel great.
They got Harper. They got Harper. They got the one up over John Fanta. They're good.
And Peichel's a nice guy. Everybody loves him.
And we love Piscataway.
Yeah. Okay. Final one, Wisconsin. What's their misery index?
2. Maybe actually, no, 4, because they got dog walked by Zona. I don't care if it was at Zona. That has to bump the misery up a little bit.
I think it would be a 1, but it's up to a 3 because they got 30 pieced, 25. I think this explains why the Big Ten is so miserable, because Wisconsin is one of the least miserable teams there is. And if Wisconsin's not miserable, then everybody else is miserable.
I'm sorry. I just blacked out for 2 seconds, and I just realized that honestly, Michigan State's issues go all the way back to the fact that DeMar DeRozan took a playoff during a CP3 camp. He took a playoff during a CP3 camp, and Gavoni had his sidekick out, and he recorded him stealing the ball from DeMar DeRozan, and he looked skinny. And we've been in hell since.
I mean, I guess it's true. Hang in there, Cart. It's okay. All right.